Hi guys, I'm back again with another movie review. I'm going to start it by saying it does contain spoilers. If you don't want to know, don't go any further. The movie that I watched is Family Portraits, a Trilogy of America. It's by Douglas Buck. All the movies are basic. They have nothing to do with one another. I should state that now. I thought that they did and they do not. But I'm quickly going to go into what they're about and try to keep this video as short as possible. I just did one and it was 16 minutes and that's just too long. So in any event, go to the first one. The movie starts in the first film that you're introduced to is Cunning Moments, which coincidentally is what I bought the film for. I told you about the bloody woman here. It's about a family that is fallen apart. The marriage is not going very well. The wife tries to bring interest back to her. It's not working. You gather that Child Protective Services may be coming to take the son from a scene in which the wife tells the husband the lawyer called. He wasn't supposed to, but they may be coming to get him tomorrow. Basically, the film is just about that. There's one scene where she goes to bed. She's looking at an old wedding photo that was sent from her mother-in-law, wondering where things went wrong. She doesn't hear her husband get out of the bed. Then she hears whispers. The husband is in the son's room. And she realizes very quickly what is going on. She's known what's going on, and she keeps thinking, and she keeps whispering, what have I done, what have I done? There's more things here. I'm just trying to speed the review along. So, in any event, she decides that one day she's going to try to get her husband's interest. She puts on some red lipstick, gets on a very pretty red dress. She goes out to see him. He's watching a baseball game on the television. He's not looking at her at all. Eventually, he pans over at her, and just stares right through her. And you can tell it breaks her heart. She goes into the bathroom. This is the scene in which I had witnessed. She takes her dress off. She scrubs the lipstick off. When that's not enough, she takes a Brillo pad. She goes to town scrubbing her mouth with the Brillo pad. When she's done, it's a bloody mess. She then looks over and sees a pair of scissors inside of the cup which holds their toothbrushes and proceeds to cut her lips off. You don't see the lips actually you see a little pinching motion, but it's mostly blood splattering down the front. When she is finished, she walks back out in her white underwear with blood all over her. The husband sees her, removes his glasses, stand up. There's a silent communication that takes place between the two. It then goes to the bedroom. It shows the floor. There's blood all over the floors. It pans up to the bed. You see there's blood all over the bed. The husband straddling the wife. You quickly gather, because he has the shears, that he's in the process of cutting off one of her breasts. He does it. She does not scream or yell. She just makes these horrible noises. Then he goes to the other side. At this point, you see the shears pinching the breast, but it doesn't actually cut it. It veers away before that actually happens. At this point, you see her just gagging. She's got blood all over her. You know she's going to die. The husband then takes the shears, turns them on himself, cuts his penis off, and then falls forward on her. The second film is about a father, and it goes to part 2. And the second film is about a father who's very strict, very stern, and very detached from his family. You know something is going on. You don't know what it is. It was actually, and I will say this, I want to move the review along, but I mentioned it before. The wife brings the husband coffee at dinner. He doesn't touch it. She said, is coffee okay? He says it's too hot. She then picks it up, and you can tell she's terrified of him, and begins blowing on it. My husband looked over at me, and he said, if I did that, he said, you would hawk a loogie in my coffee. And I said, yeah, I would say, hey, babe, here's a little extra creamer just for you. But anyway, that's the kind of home environment it is in. As a consequence, and from the treatment the boy receives, the son, he is obviously not right in the head, and that's what the story is about. He's a man now, he has his own family, and he can't reconcile his past with his present. He's very religious. He forces his family to be religious. There are problems in his marriage, and I think that he has a huge issue with sex, because he actually comes in on his parents as a child, and he sees his father over, his mother yelling, you do what I tell you to do, you do this and you do that. The wife and him are very separated. They have a daughter together. You can tell the wife is kind of fearful of him. One day he sees his daughter outside. She's speaking with a little boy. There's nothing sexual about it, but he sees something sexual when she actually pulls her skirt up just tight a little bit on her leg, and she's whispering in the boy's ear. The girl comes home. He asks what her and her mother do during the day when she's gone. Of course, the girl, you can tell she's scared of him. She doesn't answer. She goes inside. The next morning, you see the wife and the daughter are bound and gagged at the table as he's having his breakfast. He then goes into the kitchen, cleans out his bowl, gets a knife, and then it shows you another scene with him covered in blood. You quickly realize he's killed his family. He gets his suit jacket for work. He walks past the room where his wife and daughter are. It doesn't show you what he's done to them, but you just see a lot of blood and you know that they're dead. He then goes onto the porch and he sits down, and he says as he does so, he feels the presence of his father, and it feels as if he's come home. The third movie, which is called Prologue, was actually, and I'm looking to see if it's actually called something else, but it's introduced as Prologue in the film, is that she, and it's Prologue, is about a girl. She comes home, there are news cameras, you know something's not right, you automatically notice she's in a wheelchair, she has mechanical arms, and that her family has had to fix their home for her. She goes inside. Basically what this story is about is it's two different stories. It's an older man and an older woman who sleep in separate bedrooms. They're not having a very happy marriage. And then it's about the girl going home after this tragic accident which has occurred to her, in which she was beaten and raped, and she lost both of her hands, and her back was broken, leaving her paralyzed. As the film progresses, the girl realizes, because the man and the older woman, obviously it ties in together. He worked at the post office. When the girl goes to the post office and sees his picture, she puts two and two together. She eventually travels to the man's house. Now, I should say he's into self-mutilation. You see this as well. But he does art. He paints, and he does he does clay figurines and whatnot. So she goes to his door. He walks outside. He sits down. She lifts her hands as if to hit him, her clawed hand. He starts crying. She then turns away and leaves. It goes back to the wife of the older man, saying, you said it was an accident. She keeps looking at pictures of her daughter. She's told people that her daughter's in France, but you quickly gather she's not there at all. And she follows him out to a field. He's got a shovel. She follows him out into a field, and it's then that she's got a shotgun. It's then that he tells her that they're all here. They're all here, indicating that, because she, has not looked into his, and I'll get to there in a second, into his garage with all his artwork, but you quickly gather he's killed more girls and he's collected mementos. She goes into his garage where he does all of his work and his crafting. She finds some very macabre, very disturbing clay figurines and paintings. She then realizes what has happened. When she's outside with her husband, which is Pryor, I was telling you, he says they're all here, and he's digging holes looking for the bodies of the people he has killed. She sees a teddy bear. He tells her the teddy bear belonged to the girl who showed up, who was the girl he attacked. She then shows the girl in front of the post office just sitting there in her wheelchair looking at it. Her parents are frantic. They don't know where she is. The older wife, then shows up, gives her teddy bear back, and tells her she's sorry. She didn't know. She had never been into his office before. And the girl takes the teddy bear. Then a little homeless girl who you see earlier walks up. They talk. The girl in the wheelchair tells her that she was once a very, princess with a great life, and that is no more. She gives the little girl the teddy bear. Her father shows up. You quickly gather she's not told them what's going on, and you don't know if she's going to tell them or not that she knows who attacked her. And then the film ends with it showing the man continuing out in this field, digging, searching for the bodies of the people he's killed. This wasn't at all what I expected it to be. Actually, I didn't know what to expect. Sometimes I fly blind with books and movies. When my husband was watching it by the second film, he was like, "What the hell did you buy?" And that's kind of understandable. It's not very coherent. You're not really sure what's going on. And there goes my nose itching again. It's not very coherent. You don't know what's going on. It's not a total waste. Again, I only paid $6.99 for it. It's definitely not for everyone, and it has a very dark undertone. So without any further ado, I'm going to go into my ratings. Sexuality, there's not a lot of sexuality in this, although you do see the breast when the woman's cutting moments. So I'm going to rate that as a 3 out of 5, just because you do see that, and, I just want to be safe and warn people. Violence, I'm going to rate that as a 4 out of 5 simply because of cutting moments, because it is violent, especially when he's on the bed. Sometimes you don't have to see things for things to be violent, because you can picture them for yourself, and that's pretty much enough. Gore, I'm going to rate that as a 4 out of 5. Although she does cut her lips off, and he does that with the breasts and whatever, it doesn't show that much. It's just a lot of blood, but sometimes blood is enough to be gore for some people. And not just that, but when she cuts her lip, there are a couple of moments when you go, oh, that's kind of gross. And especially when she's done and she's got this horrible look on her face. It's just not nice. Overall enjoyment. This is tough. I can't rate things between ratings. I would give this between a 2.5 and a 3. It's not a total waste of time. However, I can say that it just kind of leaves you with a dark, ominous feeling hovering over you. It's not for everyone, but for $6.99, you know, it wasn't that bad, and I finally got to see Cutting Moments. Coincidentally, if you do purchase this DVD and you're just interested in Cutting Moments, it's double-sided. You can just watch Cutting Moments. You don't have to watch the other 2 films. So there you go. There's my review of Family Portraits. If you're interested in it, you know, that's pretty much what you're going to get. I've got a very busy day today. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any other reviews, but I'm hoping tonight, I have to look really quickly, but I'll either want to watch Hatchet or Love Object. We also got another one called Exam from the video store. It looks very, very interesting. I was told that it's got the feel of Cube, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love Cube, so we may watch that as well. But whatever we watch, whenever I get an opportunity, I'll review it here. So I hope you're all doing well. Don't have long. It's the weekend, so yay, I can get to come visit all your channels. But until then, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for dropping by. Bye.